migratory game birds.
No, I mean, a logical reason for why tubular you can have 10 and...
Oh, because how are you gonna keep it from having, how are you gonna keep it? You can't change that gun,
Oh,
okay? If the gun itself is manufactured that way. There aren't many like that.
Probably also for reload speed.
Right, and you can't reload it, you can't drop the magazine and shove another one in there, because it's tubular, it's part of the gun. Now, what about if you have a bolt action? And you have a detachable magazine, how many can you have in that?
As many as it exists.
As many as it takes, because it's not a semi-automatic rifle. And that's semi-automatic rifles. What about a semi-automatic shotgun? Put it down.
rounds?
As many as you want, as long as it's legal for the game that you're after. Okay, because they have shotguns with detachable box, semi-autos now too. And there's actually a fully automatic shotgun, which is not legal for hunting. Fully automatic weapons are not legal for hunting. Some other things not legal for hunting. Explosive rounds, hand grenades, rocket launchers. These things are not legal for hunting. Dynamite, that's also not legal for fishing. Or so they tell me. So why do you think those things are illegal for hunting?
See, again, I need the cable.
Oh, sure.
The mix-up ones, we got new guys,
Oh, okay.
so you said you needed 51. You didn't say class. You gotta say 51 class.
Okay, well,
You're on.
tell Dave that.
Yeah.
Did you hear what he said? Okay.
That was the mix-up.
Because Dave is always the one who schedules it, we don't schedule it at all,
Well,
so.
and everybody else was here and knew that you needed a classroom.
Oh,
We've changed,
yeah,
and so we didn't, you assumed we knew.
right, right.
Not a problem.
Seems like a reasonable assumption, I guess.
We'll do it, not a problem.
All right, thank you,
Thanks.
thank you, sir. So why aren't we using bombs and poison darts? Because ethics, right? Yeah, because it's not fair. And we're back to fair chase.
It's not safe either, really, because you have less control over dynamite than you do, theoretically. Never
Okay,
mind.
well, maybe you have less control over that. But that's a really good point. You know, it's not only disrespectful to the animal, but other people that might be around or whatever. It's just not good. Something else in mind on that. I can't remember. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, what about air guns for hunting big game, deer and such?
Have they made those legal now?
They have made certain ones legal. They're pre-charged pneumatic firearms, or guns. They're not firearms, they're guns. And there's certain ones that are legal to use for deer.
What about the earbuds? Have they addressed that issue yet?
I don't know.
Only certain states. I know some of them make it, but I didn't know that. And in
Say
Florida.
that louder.
Certain states are legal, like Texas is legal,
Okay.
but not here.
Not
Not here yet. No, that's what-
Yeah, and that brings us to muzzle loaders. There's one kind of muzzle loader that's not legal in Florida. And that's the kind that has an electronic method of firing. Okay, I was like really excited when that came out because you don't use a primer, you use electronic. It uses a spark and it fires without a primer. Those are not legal in Florida. You have to have a muzzleloader that uses a primer. When your muzzleloader doesn't have a primer in it, it's considered unloaded. So you can have the pellets or powder in there, you can have the ball in there, and as long as you don't have a primer on it, then it's not considered loaded. Now the interesting thing is, well, I guess if you had a flintlock, if you don't have any powder in the frizzen pan, then it would be considered unloaded because it can't fire without that primer. How many here have ever hunted with a flintlock? How many here have hunted with a flintlock all day and then realized at the end of the day that all
Your hand's still up.
So basically carrying around a piece of wood and metal that was like completely inoperable and couldn't do anything. Yeah, that would be me. Yeah, one of the things that's really great about having all these experiences with hunting and teaching folks is that I've made a lot of mistakes. And I got some scars to prove it. So.
Only the few.
Alright, so, some of the ideas of like what's not legal and also not fair chases, like turkeys on the roost. Turkeys, when they fly up in the tree, they think they're safe. So shooting them off the roost is not only illegal in Florida, it's unethical. I mean, in some states it's legal, but it's not ethical.
Is that strictly where they roost, or if they flew up into a tree and were not roosting, but they had been flushed into a tree? What's the rule there?
Well, that's a good question. And that would be something that the wildlife officer would probably decide for you, And personally, I would say even if it's legal, it would be unethical. Because the turkey thinks it's safe when it's up in the tree.
So why are you wanting to shut down the tree?
You yell at it, have it fly off, It's like when you're hunting quail and they're on the ground, you go over there and you kick the bush. And you go right? Chainsaw. Yeah, hunting with a chainsaw. Okay, well that brings up a good question. When you're once you've gotten your deer that's got 47 points on the side and it's on the right side, now what are you gonna do with it? Field dress it, right? You're gonna field dress it. That's basically means take the guts out. And why would you do that?
So that the meat doesn't get spoiled.
Okay, why would you leave the guts in and make the meat spoil?
Bacteria.
Heat. There are three enemies there are three things that cause meat spoilage. Heat is one of them.
Bacteria.
Moisture and dirt. Heat, dirt, and moisture. You may see that again. There are three things that cause meat spoilage. Heat, dirt, and moisture. So now you got it, here in Florida, you always got heat, right? I mean, except like this winter, we had some cold. But even then, it wasn't that cold, right? But still, you have those three things, you have heat. And then in the summertime, you have a lot of moisture because it's raining, right? So what do? You gotta protect it against those things the best you can. But then you have to make a decision. Let's say you shoot it out in a swamp, right? Are you gonna field dress it out there and then drag it through the water? No. You wait till you get it up to dry land and then you can do it. Now, if you got like an area where there's a lot of dirt and all that, and there's no way to get it dragged out without getting a bunch of dirt in it, that's another thing. You have to take that into account. So you have to think about how to minimize the heat, dirt, and moisture when you're cleaning. So, is it easier to clean a deer while it's laying on the ground or hanging? Hanging. Okay, you might see that again. It's easier to clean a deer while it's hanging. So if I were to ask you, what are part of a good game cleaning kit, and I said a knife, would you say yes?
Yes.
Okay. What about a rope? Yes. Maybe an axe to break open the pelvis? Yes. What about a chainsaw? You like a chainsaw? Chainsaw would be no. Chainsaw would be no. Although a sawzall, a reciprocating saw, you can cut with a bone blade on it or a clean blade on it, and cut through the wrists and all that. I personally like to cut in between the tendons and so that there's no bone fragments, but some people just use that sawzall and it works pretty good too.
Now ready to go shoot?
Sure.
Your mic up here. Adam, so they're ready to go.
What do you want for?
Mark your earplugs. Oh, you're
Oh,
they're right here.
them all
Oh,
around.
okay.
Box, here's the box back here.
Oh, okay. It's only a 2.5 mile walk down there.
Well, that's good.
So anybody wanna carry me? All right. how many's not gonna shoot? 1, 2, 3, okay. So we'll put about 11 in each group. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Will be group 1, and the rest of you will be in group 2.
Yeah, you're 11 with the black hat.
Yeah. So, we'll walk down through the secret, and then if you gotta go with the head, it's right in there, yeah, we'll walk
And then
down.
for those of you who've not been in the military, that's the bathroom
Isn't that Navy specifically,
or
No.
Marines.
or Marines, okay,
Well, the Navy was part of the Marines.
yeah.
I seen the Navy
Wait a minute,
vehicle,
Marines
who's
is
in the,
part of
who was in the Navy? Somebody's got Navy on their license plate out there, on the back of their vehicle.
That's your vehicle.
No, there's mine. No, mine don't say Navy. Okay, anybody else gotta go? Go ahead, you can just leave your stuff here. We'll walk down to the range, we'll do the 22s and shotgun, we don't have enough. You wanna stay here?
Yeah, I'm gonna stay here. It's the walk.
Yeah.